The night we met. My name is Chloe. I am 30 years old now. I am a journalist in a big city. My job is about facts and truth. I believe in hard work. I do not believe in destiny or fate. I always thought romance was foolish. Love at first sight? That was just a story for movies. I had a long relationship. It ended 6 months ago. It was very painful. I felt empty inside. I needed to forget everything. I needed silence and space. So I planned a trip alone. I went far away from the city noise. I chose a small, cold town by the sea. I was going to write a long article there. I thought the sea air would clear my mind. I was going to focus on my future. I was going to be practical again. I was sure that nothing could change my mind. I packed my notebooks and my heavy coat. I just wanted to be alone. I wanted to be safe. I did not want to feel anything new. I did not want any surprises. I really hated surprises, especially emotional ones. This story is simple and emotional. If you enjoy it, you can leave a like or a comment. The town was called Port Willow. It was very small and quiet. The wind always blew hard there. The sea was gray and cold. I rented a small cottage near the lighthouse. Every morning I woke up early. I made black coffee and started writing. I was writing about local politics. The work was difficult, but I liked the routine. My days were simple. I walked on the beach when the rain stopped. I collected smooth gray stones. I always ate dinner alone in the cottage. Sometimes I went to the only bar in town. It was called the Anchor. It was dark and smelled like salt and old wood. I sat in a corner booth. I read my book and drank a glass of wine. I watched the local fishermen talk loudly. I felt safe in my corner. I was very happy to be invisible. I thought, this is the best life. No drama, no feelings, just peace. My heart was completely closed. I made sure of that. I used my work as a wall around my feelings. I was staying for 3 weeks total. 2 weeks passed very quickly. I felt stronger than before. I was going back home next week. I had booked my train ticket already. I was going back to my organized, structured life. Everything was exactly as I planned. The 3rd week started with a huge storm. The wind howled like a ghost. The waves crashed high over the seawall. The power flickered constantly. It was a very wild night. I could not sleep at all. I decided to go to the Anchor just for a short time. I needed a distraction from the noise. I put on my thickest sweater and walked through the rain. The bar was almost empty. The bartender looked tired. I sat at my usual table in the back. The storm was getting worse outside. I really liked the wildness of the weather. It matched the quiet chaos inside my head. I ordered my usual wine. I took out my notebook to review my notes. I was thinking about the final paragraph of my article. I did not notice anyone else arrive. Then a man sat down at the bar near me. He was the only new person in the whole room. He looked like a traveler, not a local. He had dark, messy hair. His clothes looked comfortable but worn. He ordered a hot drink and looked around the room. He seemed very relaxed. He did not look worried about the storm at all. He looked like he belonged everywhere and nowhere. I tried not to look at him. I tried to focus on my writing, but the light from the bar cast a warm glow on his face. I kept looking up quickly, then looking away. He turned and caught my eye. He smiled warmly at me. It was a simple, genuine smile. I felt my face get warm. I felt very shy suddenly. I had not smiled at a stranger in months. He lifted his glass slightly, like a small greeting. I hesitated for a moment, then I gave a tiny nod back. He finished his drink quickly. Then he picked up his coat and walked toward my table. I thought, oh no, he is going to talk to me. I quickly put my notebook away. "Is this seat taken?" he asked. His voice was soft and gentle. "No," I said quietly. He sat down across from me. "The storm is incredible," he said. "I love the sound. It is loud," I agreed. I did not want to talk much. I wanted him to leave. "My name is Alex," he said easily. "I am traveling up the coast. This storm stopped me here. I am Chloe," I replied. I did not offer any more information. He did not press me for details. He just looked at me thoughtfully. He did not look at his phone. He was completely present. This was already unusual. I felt a strange curiosity start inside me. I had forgotten what true, easy conversation felt like. We started talking slowly, then the conversation flowed like the river outside. Alex asked me about my journey. He did not ask about my job. I told him I was looking for peace. He understood immediately. He said he was looking for beautiful moments. He said life was just a series of beautiful, unplanned moments. I told him I believed in planning. I said control was important. Alex laughed gently. He said control was an illusion. He said we can only control how we react to the unexpected. We talked about destiny. I told him fate was a nice idea for children, but real life was too messy. I told him love was a chemical reaction, not magic. Alex looked straight into my eyes then. His eyes were very kind. "Maybe the magic is in the timing," he said simply. "Maybe fate is just being exactly where you need to be, exactly when you need to be there." I thought about that statement for a long time. I had come to Port Willow to escape destiny. I had come to prove that I could manage my life alone. But here I was, trapped by a huge storm, talking intensely to a stranger. It felt like the universe was playing a joke on me. We talked for hours and hours. The bartender was cleaning up slowly. The clock passed midnight easily. We shared stories from our travels. I told him things I had never told anyone before. I talked about the breakup. I talked about feeling lost. I did not feel self-conscious or judged. Alex listened very carefully to every word. He did not offer solutions or pity. He just offered understanding. He made me feel seen. I realized my protective wall was crumbling down quickly. I was really laughing now, a real deep laugh. The storm outside started to calm down slightly. The rain was softer now. I felt an incredible connection with him. It was strong and very sudden. It felt dangerous, but also wonderful. I thought, this is what people call electricity. It was just one night, but I felt like I knew his whole heart. The sky outside was starting to lighten. The storm was completely finished. The first light was pale blue and gray. We were the only two people left in the bar. Alex stood up slowly. "I need to leave now, Chloe," he said. "I have to continue driving north. The roads will be clear soon." My stomach dropped completely. I had completely forgotten that he was just passing through. I had thought the night would never end. I looked at the coffee cup still in front of me. I felt a deep panic rising in my chest. I felt scared of being alone again. I felt scared of losing this feeling. It was the hardest moment of my trip. I thought, I have to decide quickly. I had my safe life waiting for me. My journalism, my organized apartment, my train ticket home tomorrow morning. Everything was predictable and good, but now that life seemed incredibly boring. It seemed pale compared to the intensity of this one night. Alex stood near the door, waiting. He was not asking me to come. He was just waiting to see what I would do. I looked at his kind face. I knew I needed to take a risk. I knew I needed to follow the feeling, not the plan. I had always been so safe. I did not want to be safe anymore. I knew this was the turning point. I realized the storm did not just stop his trip, it started mine. I took a very deep breath. My heart was beating fast now. I reached into my coat pocket. I took out my return train ticket. It was stiff paper. It represented my old life. I looked at the ticket for 1 second. Then I tore the paper into small pieces. I dropped the pieces on the wet floor. Alex smiled very brightly when he saw this. "I am not going home tomorrow," I said to him. My voice was surprisingly strong. "I am not finished traveling yet." He walked back to me quickly. He took my hand gently. His hand was warm and solid. We walked out of the bar together into the cool morning air. The air smelled fresh and clean after the rain. I felt completely reborn in that moment. I did not know what was going to happen next. I did not know where we were going. I did not know how long we would travel together. But I knew one thing. I was not going back to my planned, safe routine. I learned that life does not follow a precise journalistic structure. Sometimes the best stories are the ones you do not plan. Sometimes destiny is just a charming stranger who makes you feel brave enough to change your direction. I realize that a good life is not about avoiding the storm. It is about dancing in the rain. I am still learning this lesson every day. I am learning to trust the unexpected. To stay with me in the next stories, like, comment, and subscribe.